So far, we've looked at the different strategies for adding and subtracting integers. Now we're going to see multiplying and dividing integers. We'll start off with a few rules that are going to help keep this simple for us. The first rule is that if the numbers have the same sign, then the answer is positive. That means if both of the numbers that you're multiplying or dividing are positive, your answer is positive. Or if they're both negative, your answer will also be positive. If the numbers have different signs, though, then the answer will be negative. So if you're multiplying or dividing a positive and a negative, the answer is always negative. And these rules work for all real numbers. Now, one thing to remember as we go through these different examples, we're going to see parentheses being used to represent multiplication. Sometimes parentheses can be used to tell us where to begin solving a math problem, but in these problems you're going to notice that you're going to have a number in front of the parentheses. So in that case, the parentheses are telling us that that number needs to be multiplied by whatever's in the parentheses. Okay, so let's take a look at an example. Now in these examples, the numbers are going to have the same sign, so the answer will be positive. The first one we have here is 5 times 3. And notice those parentheses. We have the number 5 sitting right in front of the set of parentheses. So that means the 5 is getting multiplied by whatever is inside the parentheses, which in this case is the number 3. So a positive 5 times a positive 3, they're both positive numbers, will give us an answer that is positive. Okay. In this example, we have negative 4 times negative 2. Both are negative, but that's okay because as long as they're both the same sign, even if they're both negative, the answer will be positive. So our negative 4 times negative 2 gives us positive 8. And this also works for division. We have positive 20 divided by positive 5. Both are positive. So that means that the answer is positive. So we have positive 4. And in this one, we have negative 32 divided by negative 2. Both of the numbers are negative. Since they're both the same sign, the answer is positive. So we get positive 16. Now we're going to look at some examples where the two numbers have different signs. So if the two numbers that you're multiplying or dividing have different signs from each other, then the answer is always negative. Now this is very different from what we saw when we were adding and subtracting integers. We had to look to see sometimes what the sign was of the larger number. In this case, that doesn't matter at all. We just want to look to see if the two numbers have the same sign or different sign. And if they're different, the answer is negative. So here we have a positive 5 times negative 6. One's positive, one's negative. They have different signs. So the answer is negative 30. We have negative 18 divided by a positive 3. Once again, the signs are different. So the answer is negative 6. Okay, so just to go over those rules again, if both of the numbers have the same sign and we're multiplying or dividing them, answer is positive. If the numbers have different signs when we're multiplying or dividing them, the answer will be negative. And this works for all real numbers. So just remember those two rules, and you'll always be able to figure out the sign of your answer when you're multiplying or dividing with real numbers.